I'd love to make it sound dramatic and say I was this close, Larry, but no, I had an offer from Fox, but I decided, yeah, I want to stay at NBC. It's been good for me.
Was it flattering, though, to know that you were wanted?
It's
Please, Conan, come with us.
Yes, yes. It was like being at the prom all over again. It was nice. It was nice that, you know, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've just sort of kept my nose to the grindstone. I don't get out that much, so you don't always have a great idea of how much people appreciate what you're doing, and so to have a major network say, we really want you to come, we want to build, you know, a night of programming around you, that's not bad.
Lots happened in your life now. Now you get married.
I got married, yeah.
And for a long time, people thought this was like you were a bachelor, right? And there's a scene of the wedding.
Yes, that's a shot of me proving I'm not gay. That was the my publicist said, get out there, get married. There I am.
It rained at your wedding.
Well, the wedding was, my wife is from Seattle, so we planned the wedding in Seattle in January, so we knew it would rain. There was no, I hope it doesn't rain. We decided it's going to rain. Let's make sure it rains. Let's just plan it to rain, and then we won't be disappointed. And it rained. Thank you, God.
Is it true that you had a comical priest, a guy that did stand-up?
Well, he did. Yeah, he's actually someone I went to college.
Oh, Harvard.
He's an old friend of mine.
Was he on the Lampoon with you?
No, no. But he's a funny guy, and so he did a nice ceremony, but he also worked some jokes in there, and which was a little strange because
were you nervous?
Yeah, I think you're nervous when you do the vows, right, Larry?
Sure.
We've all been through it, Larry. Not as many times, but anyway, no. It's yeah. When you're saying those words, I promise to be with you the rest of my life. That's a little nerve-wracking.
So
I want out. It's not. Please. I just.
It's a failure.
Honey, I'm sorry. No, it's great. I think I'm well suited to it. I found the right person. It's the right time in my life. I'm thrilled. I'm very happy.
Well, we're going to talk about a lot of things, but first about this shake-up thing that nearly occurred.
Right.
Letterman nearly went to ABC. While that was going on, what were you thinking?
Well, I had made my deal to stay at NBC at 12:30 literally 3 days before. So I think, like, I just made a pretty good deal, staying at 12:30 at NBC, and then you pick up the newspaper and you read, Dave may leave, there may be an opening on CBS at 11:30. So I felt like a horse's ass for, like the biggest idiot.
So you wanted him to stay?
No, not really. You know, I didn't think about it that much, because I have this philosophy, which is do what you can control and then just leave the rest of it to the fates. You know, just make your own decisions. And I was happy to stay at NBC, and I'm happy to be at 12:30. We do a lot of stuff on our show which shouldn't be seen by people at 11:30. The secret to our show is people are 2/3 asleep when they're seeing it, and they're not sure if they really saw what really happened. So I was happy to stay.
Does this mean you would not want an 11:30 gig?
Oh, Larry, that's crazy. I want it very badly. Yeah, I think.
Do you lust for it as Leno did and Letterman did?
Well, let's not say lust, because that gets very perverted and creepy sounding. Let's say I want to take 11:30 out for a date someday, get to know 11:30, and then maybe 11:30 and I can cohabitate. But there's no lust. I don't want to be in the back seat of a car with 11:30. I think I said to someone a couple of days ago, someone said, you know, would you ever want to be at 11:30? And I think 11:30 is like Florida. All of us would like to live there one day, you know? And I think in the talk show world, that's true. I love doing it at 12:30, and then I think I have a good show. And so, yes, someday I'm probably going to want to be on a little earlier so my parents can see it.
You mentioned being on late. Does NBC give you more latitude?
They don't see the show. I mean, that's what kept me on the air is that
management has no idea.
NBC thought they had canceled me, you know, for 4 years. Like, and then someone in an airport, some executive saw, I thought that guy was dead, you know. So that kept me going. And they don't see it, and we pretty much get to do whatever we want. And every now and then one of them stays up and sees something that we did and gives us a call. We get a call.
Were you sad over losing Andy? My favorite little character. I used to love to turn to him.
He's a real human being. He's not an invention.
I know, but he was adorable.
You know, I was very sad when he left, because one of the reasons it worked well with Andy and I is that the chemistry was real. There was nothing manufactured about it. I like the guy, and I think he's one of the funniest people I've ever met, and we got along well. And so, yeah, I was sad to lose him, but I was happy for him, because I think he's a very talented guy, and he gets to do his own show now on Fox, which is very funny. Critics really love it. There's me there's me proving how much I love Andy. This is all the stuff I did to him over the years. But anyway, I had a great time with him, and I saw him just last weekend. What's nice now is we're still friends. I visited him. He's got a little kid now. It's not his, he took it. He's got a lovely wife. He lives out in Los Angeles. He's making his own show, which, as I say, the critics have all loved. He's done a good job.
And you chose not to replace him?
You know what I decided to do? I never thought I was going to have a sidekick, and the only reason I had a sidekick was because I met Andy Richter, and I knew I said, this guy's perfect. So the decision to have one in the first place was based on meeting Andy Richter. So
it was him?
Yes, it was him. It was not, I need a sidekick, let's have auditions. And so what I didn't want to do is, after Andy left, I didn't want to say, all right, let's audition a bunch of people and have someone sitting next to me who's not as good as Andy. I think it'd be very hard to find someone who complimented me that well. And I thought, if it can't be organic and it can't be good, I don't want just anyone. I don't want Abe Vigoda sitting out there with me. Because I've asked him and he won't do it.
When you were writing, and that's where you started. You wrote in college. You wrote for one of the funniest...
Well, I was a model, a male model first, for the Sears catalog. And then I moved on from that, because I don't want to be just a piece of meat. I'm a human being. I've got a mind, Larry.
When you were a writer...
When I was a writer.
And you would write for people who would perform your work.
Yes.
Did you say, I want to be on camera?
I always knew I wanted to be on camera, but I usually wrote for people who were so good that I never once had the feeling I could do that better than they could. I mean, I wrote for people like, Dana Carvey and John Lovitz and these incredible performers on Saturday Night Live, and I never once wrote something for Dana Carvey or John Lovitz and thought I could do that better than they could, because they're a different kind of performer than I am. They were better at that than I am.
So how did it all come about?
Basically, Lorne Michaels lost a bar bet. I don't know. To this day, I still don't understand how it all worked out, but it's ancient history now. But Letterman left NBC. There was suddenly an opening. I think NBC was caught with their pants down. They didn't know, who to pick. They went to Lorne Michaels. They asked him, do you have any ideas? Lorne said, I think he auditioned a bunch of people. He looked around. He remembered me from the writing days and thought I had something. He said, let's audition Conan O'Brien.
Were you surprised that they even called you?
I was surprised to get the call to audition
that's what I mean.
For the show. And but then I said, okay, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try it. And then I had a great audition. And the first year on the air, I was never as good as I was on my audition. I had to dig myself out of a hole again.
I was one of your earlier guests.
That's right. You were on very early. You sang, I think. It's beautiful.
Right.
Ave Maria.
Oh, it was great.
You have such a beautiful singing voice, and no one knows.
I know.
No one knows. We've got to.
No one watched that night.
Yeah, right. There were 3 people watching, and 2 of them have since passed on. It's very sad.
Have you now got it down?
No.
When you started, we all admitted,
right.
You were admittedly
right. I was new, green,
and nervous.
Yeah.
I
wet myself often on the show, and the ratings spiked when that happened. So I'm trying to do it again. No, I don't think anybody would tell you that they've got it down. Whenever you think you've got it down, there'll be nights where we have. There'll be weeks where I have 4 good shows in a row. Good audiences, good material, great chemistry with the guests. It's just clicking, and the minute I start to think, I've got this down. I've got this thing down. The minute you start to think that, you walk in, audience is cold, none of the jokes work, you can't get anything going with the guests. So there's a god of talk show somewhere who is, whenever you start to think you've got it right, they pull you right back to day one, and then you have to climb out of the basement.
Our guest is Conan O'Brien, one of the good guys, the host of Late Night with Conan O'Brien. He's a terrific talent. Special guest tomorrow night. We can't tell you who it is. CNN will let you know tomorrow morning.
I'm excited.
Me too. Saturday night, we're going to repeat on Larry King Weekend, an extraordinary program that could probably never be done again. It was historic when it was done. It was done in June of 1995. The guests were Yitzhak Rabin, Yasser Arafat, and King Hussein, on together for the full hour. We're going to show you how close we came to peace. We'll repeat that show Saturday night. And we're going to do a live edition Sunday night with Senator George Mitchell. We'll be right back with Conan O'Brien. We will be including your phone calls. Don't go away.
Do you ever speak softly? I mean, how do you get a book in the library? You go in there and go, I'm looking for a book!
I'm so excited, man, I'll tell you, I'm pumped, the audience love me, I'm excited. Look at me press fire, man. That's right.
His performance was somewhat affected by his weight, all right?
I love Brando, but I think he's let his weight get in the way of some of his acting. Like the scene where he's convincing De Niro to do one last job for him. Take a look. You'll see what I'm talking about.
All right, I'm going to do it.
Good, good. Sweetheart. You're a sweetheart.
You do so many gimmicks like that, setting it up. You work all day on that?
Well, you know, now, please, Larry, this is a serious interview about world peace.
We're going to get to world peace, because I'm interested.
You're going to fix this problem.
That's right.
I have an amazing writing staff, and they just think outside the box, and they're always looking for ways to make the show visual. I mean, I used to work on The Simpsons. My sense of humor has always been very visual. I like it to look funny. I like things to look funny. I like the show to be verbally funny, but my dream was always turn off the sound and you could still laugh at some stuff. And it would look silly.
Chaplin?
Yeah.
Buster Keaton?
Well, I like Buster Keaton a lot more than Chaplin, and the Marx Brothers were probably my favorite of the older era.
Always relied on physical movement.
Yeah, the Clouseau movies with Peter Sellers are still to this day my favorite comedy that I think that's on film, and so I just absolutely love things to look funny, and the writers are great. You know, I mean, I rely on them very, very heavily.
What do you think of the future of Bill Maher and Politically Incorrect?
I have no idea. I mean, you probably know as much as I do. You hear rumors that they're having some problems there, but I have no idea if that show's, you know, going, if it's staying. I don't know.
Okay. Let's talk about some world things and your thoughts on what's going on. What do you make of what's going on in your church?
Wow, I didn't think this would come up. You know, it was funny. I was talking to this friend of mine who is a Catholic priest, and this, you know, it's not a funny topic, but he was saying he thinks that in the end this could be good for the church. He thought that actually, if it's going to educate people, if it's going to create reform, if it's going to actually change some things, then this could end up, as tragic as it is, being good. As long as this problem's been publicized and gets out there and they make changes, then, you know.
How do we deal with that thin line when Rudy Giuliani was on with us sometime after 9/11?
Right.
And he said it's okay to laugh now.
Mm-hmm.
When for you was it okay? By the way, where were you that day?
I was in my apartment on the Upper West Side, and with my fiance at the time, because we were shacking up.
Conan!
Mom! One night.
And that was it.
That was it. And so obviously I heard like anybody else. The TV wasn't on, but I heard it on the radio, and I turned on the TV, and I found out like everybody else, and it was immediately clear, okay, we're not doing a show tonight. I don't know when we're doing a show. We may never do a show again. To me, I took my cue from the audiences, which they let you know. The audiences let you know, I think, to a certain degree what's okay. And a lot of this is just common sense. It's just the way anybody in the world decides what's appropriate and what's not appropriate, that's how anyone in comedy decides.
So it's funny when it's funny.
Yeah, I got the sense that people, what I realized was that my show is a choice. People can watch it, or if they're feeling like they want to laugh, or they can decide not to watch it. No one is forced to watch my show, which I think they should be, but no one is. And so I decided that I will try and provide a light mood. We have a show that does a lot of, as you know, silly things, and I say visual things, and we do a lot of stuff that has nothing to do with the news. We'll concentrate on that stuff. We'll try to create...
With your monologue, you do stuff in the news.
Yeah, but we just stayed away from it. I mean, the first night back, we were showing, when we came back, we were showing little babies lifting things. We were just providing silliness and humor for people who wanted it, and I think trying to say to people, if you're not in the mood for this, you know, don't watch it.
How long were you off?
We were off, I think everybody was off for about a week, and we were off for a week.
What did you think of the way David Letterman came back?
I thought it was extraordinary what he did. And I thought what's interesting to me is that I think it just showed what an evolution David Letterman has had. I was very much influenced by him and watched his morning show when I was a senior in high school, and that's where I really started to get interested in this format of these talk shows. And I thought the Letterman of, 1982 could not have done that, I don't think. I think this guy has grown a lot, he's matured, and he's taken on this almost a moral authority just based on the quality of his work and his integrity, and I think that he arrived at a point where he was able to do that, which I thought was pretty amazing.
Do you retain a friendship with both he and Leno? Because there are stories now that there's a rift again.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think they've been pals. I haven't seen them
that,
sipping a soda with two straws
there's been some critiques
in quite a while.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, I don't consider myself like a close friend of either one of them. I wouldn't want to misrepresent it. I get along well with David Letterman. I've always had really cordial relationship with him, and I think there's been a mutual respect. And Jay and I talk, pretty frequently, and he's always been good to me, and he has me on his show, and he, promotes me. So I've gotten along well with both of them. As to how those two, the Hatfield and McCoy, get along, I have no idea what their relationship is like.
When did Osama bin Laden ever get funny?
Yeah. I mean, in a way, I think Mel Brooks made this point. People were saying about the producers, some people were very offended when the producers came out, and Mel Brooks made this point: the greatest victory that I can have over Adolf Hitler is to make him absurd and ridiculous. And I think that, although you have to be careful and things take time, that is a way that maybe our culture can have some kind of comfort. Do you know what I mean? Is that if we can find him ridiculous in some way, or anything about that whole situation, maybe that is somewhat healthy. I don't know. I mean, my main point is I don't think celebrities should be... I don't think we know anything more than anybody else. I think we actually know less. So,
I asked you about celebrity, Don.
Yeah.
And what it's like. The writers don't get famous. Performers do.
That's right, baby.
Conan O'Brien, the host of, what a good name show, huh? Late Night with Conan O'Brien. We'll be right back.
You're promoting a fight between Geraldo Rivera and Osama bin Laden?
Yes, indeed, it did do, Conan O'Brien. My Guinness chugging, leprechaun hugging, giant face mugging muchacho. It's gonna be called The Man in the Underground Lair versus the man who got hit with the chair.
Yeah.
The snake in the grass versus the mustachioed ass.
Right.
I'm telling you, the most hated guy in America versus Osama bin Laden. Ain't that wonderful?
Don't get me wrong, I'm very proud that I have a network special, but we still have to remember that cable is expanding, and they've got some great channels too.
Oh, yeah, we should check it out.
Yeah, one of my all-time favorites is the Punch in the Face channel. It's a great channel.
Everybody loves that one. Who's on tonight?
Larry King. Larry King is on the Punch in the Face channel. We got to check this out. So let's,
3, 2, 1.
I remember that.
You did a nice job.
I did a good take.
That check is coming, by the way. You will get paid.
You do get paid on that show.
A little bit.
I think it takes a while, though.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have a lot of money, but we're good about it.
What do you make of our, I forgot how funny it was. What do you make of our celebrity-driven culture? You've been in the tabloid heaven.
Please, I could be in the tabloids a little more. I mean...
You want to be in.
Well, please, that's the sign that you've made it. I was in the tabloids once, I think, and it was a picture of me looking sad, and it said, "Close pals say Conan O'Brien doesn't wash his hands after using the bathroom." And I thought, that's it? No shacking up with Lonnie
Your
Anderson?
wedding made the tabloids.
Yeah, that, finally. I had to get married.
What about celebrity done, though?
Well,
I got it. Now, what's it like?
It's absurd. It's ridiculous. And, I wish, in the 19th century, actors and comedians were considered lowlifes who had to use the rear entrance. And I think we should go back to that time in our history. Because I don't, after 9/11, everywhere I went, someone was putting a microphone in my mouth and saying, "Conan, tell us, how do you define hero?" And I thought, ask anybody but me. You see what I do for a living. No one should be asking my opinion on anything except maybe how to kill an hour of time late at night. But certainly, this business that we should look to celebrities. Jennifer Lopez will tell us, what we should do in these times of trouble. It's I think, a little absurd.
But it goes with the territory, doesn't it? I mean, you're a celebrated person.
Actually, I'm not. I mean, I really haven't been celebrated. I could use a little more of that, too, I think.
You want more adulation?
Yeah, I think it'd be nice if, I mean, you didn't even decorate the set or anything. It's this very crude map of the world, which, by the way, isn't accurate. Look at that. That's a map of the United States. That's a Rorschach drawing.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Oh.
But you got applause from the crew when you walked in here tonight.
No, that's
you
because
didn't appreciate that.
They know I'm pro-union.
And you
they know
said
I'm a
they
good guy.
treat you better here than you treated with your own people.
Don't say that on TV. It makes me look bad with my people. I just have this feeling that I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel like I'm a celebrity. First of all, I don't get out much. I have a very mundane life. I do my show in a little concrete box.
What do you do all day?
What do I do all day? I
get to work early?
Oh, I work out a lot in the morning, as you can tell. We can't see. I've sculpted. I have a very sculpted.
You look very good.
Well, I know your knees keep rubbing up against mine. And I now know why you have this desk. It's for the little footsie you like to play. But I get to work. I do work out a little bit just for stress. Then I get into work, and we start talking about the show. Yeah, and I get out about maybe 9 o'clock at night. Sometimes earlier. Yeah, I go home. And
so you don't make this cocktail parties, the social circuit?
No, I'm burnt out by the time. I mean, I go home and I want to watch documentaries on Rommel, the Desert Fox, on the History Channel. I don't want to see comedy. I don't want someone to try and make me laugh. I want to actually go the other way. So I like to read.
Have you had fun with the Enron thing?
Yeah, we've done some jokes. I mean, basically in our job, you have to sort of have fun with everything. So we've done our fair share of jokes about Enron, until about a week ago when I found out that I had Enron stock. And then I said, this really isn't funny. So we stopped doing jokes about it.
What do you make of the Arthur Anderson debacle?
They're going to lay off, I think it's
7,000?
7,000. Yeah, they said maybe 8,000. We're not very good with numbers. I'm here all week. Anyone... crew is leaving. The crew is actually filing out. It's going to be like Charlie Rose now, where there are no cameramen. It's 4 robots, including Charlie.
That's right.
Charlie's like, "What's up?" It's
Charlie does. It's all robotic camera.
when you do Charlie Rose, you sit. No, people don't know this. They lead you into a room.
There's a dark room.
Dark room. No beautiful, accurate maps of the United States made of color-form plastics, and they lead you into a darkened room, and you sit at this table, and Charlie isn't even there, and it's robotic cameras, because I guess he doesn't like human beings, and you sit down, and then Charlie enters at one point. It's like the Spanish Inquisition. He sits down, and then the show begins. No audience. It's very frightening, and I've had to be in therapy for a while just because I was on Charlie Rose once.
Have you had a guest that disappointed you? You don't have to name it, but well, maybe you do.
40% of the time, maybe.
Really?
No, it's not that bad, but definitely there are people who. As you know, we do a volume business, and so you're not always talking to the greatest raconteurs in the world. Every night isn't Peter O'Toole spinning great yarns. There are nights where you're out there, and these are the people that are in town that week, and some of them shouldn't be doing talk shows. There are people who don't know how to tell a story, don't have much to say, but they've got a movie coming out. So you're sitting with them. They give you monosyllabic yes/no answers, and then I fill the time by dancing around like a monkey on speed.
In those moments, you miss Andy?
I'm
off Andy, can't you?
Right. But, what's fortunate now is that the show mutated a little bit after he left, and I started working off the audience more and playing to camera. So we've managed to find, actually, a couple of other ways. But, yeah, definitely there are times where I think it'd be really nice if Andy was here, because sometimes he and I would just talk to each other. And, there'd be a supermodel sitting in between us. I'd give up, because, she's from Iceland or something. She doesn't know what's going on. And she's like a cat watching a ping pong tournament. His head going back and forth.
Did you ever date anyone you had on? Any of these pre you're falling in love?
That was nice of you to add that, because I've dated a few after the marriage. Because, I'm not dead, fellas. Hello? Missoula Falls.
Okay.
Hold on, I'll calm down. Let's see, Cher and I went out for a while.
I read that.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Okay, it didn't happen. I should have gone with it, but I didn't have the guts. And I thought Cher might call and say, how dare you. Yeah. I tell people I went out with Cher just to impress them.
You ever date a famous person?
I dated someone who then went on to be famous.
That?
Lisa Kudrow and I used to go out back in the day.
Ah.
Yeah, and Jennifer Aniston and Courtney Cox. So I dated all the friends. And Schwimmer. Schwimmer and I were an item for about 6 months.
So you went
I'd like a call.
So in other words, you went through the cast.
Hey, I don't want to brag, but let's just say I've been there and back.
We're going to take a break and include your phone calls. Conan loves this. Monsieur Lamontagne.
Yeah, I love that.
Conan O'Brien is our special guest, the host of Late Night with Conan O'Brien. Surprise guest tomorrow night.
It's going to be me again. Don't watch. Don't tune in.
We'll be back with your calls right after this.
Here we go, getting closer and
So
closer.
I dive after you dive.
Once I restrain it by the neck, you take the tail in, man. Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. Hit it.
Yeah, I'm actually really incredible. My skills are really amazing.
Yep, that's still me.
Yes, sir. You know, I really appreciate you coming.
You kidding, Conan? Conan, you the man. You the man, baby. You know what I love about you, Conan? You don't hate me. You're the last one left who hasn't come out against me.
Well, no, sir. I like you. I think you're a nice guy.
Thanks. Want to go get high?
That was really him, by the way. That wasn't the lips. He's irrepressible.
We're back with Conan O'Brien. Before we start taking some calls, why does that bit with the jumbo teeth work?
It shouldn't work. It's so stupid. I think the reason it works is that we really are using their faces, and it plays a little bit of a mental trick. You actually start to believe that that's Bill Clinton or whoever we're doing. For a second you forget, and I think that's what makes it funny.
Because it works. Rockford, Illinois for Conan. Hello.
Hi, Larry.
Hi.
Hi, Conan.
Hey.
Conan, were you a geek in high school?
Yes,
Were you
definitely.
a
Yeah. And I'm trying to be very honest with people about this because.
Tell me what it was like for you. No girls?
Oh, like you didn't have trouble too, Larry.
Oh, what are you kidding? That was the worst.
I can picture you. You had those glasses. You had suspenders.
4 eyes.
It took me a long time to grow into the body that I have now, which, as we said before, is incredible.
You are an Adonis.
But no, I was 6'4", 155 pounds when I was in high school. And just please do the math at home. It doesn't work out. That doesn't add up to a human being. And I was very awkward, and I think that's where you develop your sense of humor you have to develop a sense of humor when you look like that. I mean, it looked like the circus was in town and staying.
But having a name like Conan, which is a name of strength.
Yeah, that didn't help either, is that there was this popular movie came out, and I actually talked to Schwarzenegger about this on my show. I said, you helped ruin my life. Because this name comes out, and Conan suddenly is synonymous with a muscle man, and I'm walking around, hello, fellas, and, having trouble standing up.
Must have been a good student, though, to go to Harvard.
You know what? I had my strengths, which was I was a pretty good creative writer, and I think that helped get me in. Yeah.
To Portsmouth, Virginia. Hello.
Hi, Conan.
Hey.
I was wondering, considering you did go to Harvard, was there a profession you were prepared to pursue if comedy had not worked out?
Well, I'm still not clear whether it's worked out or not, so I'm still keeping my options open.
What would you? You'd have written.
Well, I was interested. It is a good question because I had no idea that I was going to get into comedy until I started writing comedy in college and then used that as a way to start trying to perform a little bit. But I think at the time I remember thinking, well, I'll probably go to law school. I'll try and, maybe I'll get a law degree or maybe I'll try and be a writer, a creative writer. But
Harvard great?
It's, you know what, it's interesting. It's not, I don't think it's better than a lot of other schools. And I think some people who don't go there have a bit of a, oh, you went to Harvard and it's got this mystique to it. But I think undergraduate, it's got a lot of problems too. And I think there are many people who I talked to who went to much smaller schools that don't have the same renown, who sounded to me like they got just as good an education or better.
Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Hello.
Hi, Larry and Conan.
Hey.
I love both of your shows, and I just wanted to ask Conan what you miss, if anything, about writing material for shows such as The Simpsons and Saturday Night Live, as opposed to delivering the material in front of a live audience on a nightly talk show.
Good question.
What I loved about The Simpsons was, I think it was the funniest group of writers that I ever had the privilege, you know, to work with in that kind of show. I mean, I love the writers I have now. The Simpsons was this very specific kind of writing, and it was really fun to sit in there and just trade lines with people, and you felt like you were on a little bit of an all-star team. And I think the thing I miss about it the most is this feeling that you're sort of, you have teammates. You know, you're working with other people, and it's a collaboration. And although I get a lot of help on my show now, sometimes it feels lonely. You know, there's problems, and you have to go out there, and you have to do the show, and everyone's looking at you. And what's nice is that when you're a comedy writer and you're in a room with 10 other people, if you haven't got it that day, you can just kind of sit back in the chair and maybe you're a little quiet that day. And I think the pressure isn't on you as much. So I definitely miss that.
What do you think of this celebrity boxing?
I want in.
Who do you want to fight?
You. I think you and I, think about it. You without the shirt but the suspenders, people would love that.
Jew
and I would grab them.
Jew and Irish?
It's about time. The
Catholic
Jews and the
and Jew?
Irish settled their differences,
That's
and I
right.
think you were I'd grab your suspenders, I'd pull them out, and then I'd let them go. They'd hit your nipples at 40 miles an hour. That's a fight. I'd pay to see that
fight. Well, you'd
fight.
be favored because of height and age.
But my technique is very bad as a fighter. I tend to just flail, and I shriek a lot. I just flail, and
Do you think CNN and NBC would let us do it?
Yes. Oh, I think
Murdoch would go for it.
Murdoch would go for it because he's a betting man. That guy's crazy, Murdoch. So he'll go for it. And NBC, they'll do as I tell them. They will do as I tell them.
Because you've got clout.
I may be their most important star. There's talk that ER and Friends generate more revenue. But when you get right down to it, I think 12:30, we all know, is the most watched time slot.
And you own it. Look at it. You own 12:30.
Let me tell you something. I own 12:30 is my lady, and I own 12:30. That's the way I look at it. And I really believe that that I'm going to build a much bigger base from there. I plan to move later and later into the evening.
You want to
4
go
years
on
from
at
now,
2:30?
I will have the coveted 3:30 in the morning slot soon, which is great because you do a little comedy, then you tell the farmers if it's going to rain tomorrow
You get
or
a
not.
90 share.
Huge numbers. Everyone thinks go this way, 11:30, 10:30. No, baby, that's not how it goes.
Go the other way.
Go the other way. No one's going that way. Always go where no one else is going. That's what I learned in business school, and I didn't even go. Think about it. It's amazing.
We'll be right back with more of Conan O'Brien. Don't go away.
With the 800.
What? Beans, all beans.
Yeah.
Good?
And room temperature.
Yeah.
Sort of cold, I would say.
I got it yesterday. What do you want?
Sort of tastes like that.
Now, I didn't think I'd have to pry this away from you.
I've always had the will to win. It's what drives me to do more. And
I think we want to put this on, Bernie, right now. Just like that. There you go. Cover up, nice and cover up right there. All right. And look at this. Look at this. Not dramatically, Bernie.
How do you know that that's going to work?
Well, you don't. It's just scary. And that's a piece that, you know, a few years ago I used to do with Andy sitting next to me, and we would rehearse the whole thing. And this is an example of after Andy left, I started, we did it tonight on the program, tonight at 12:30.
Took a guy out of the audience.
I do the monologue, I cross over to the desk, I say, I'm going to take a little drive, does someone want to come with me? I walk into the audience, and I pick somebody, and I don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes it's a woman. Yeah, I did it tonight. That was one that we did about maybe a year ago or 9 months ago, and that's just a guy from the audience. And what's great is you do get this whole added element of everyone who's watching TV can identify with that person, and they're not professional performers, but they're playing along, and they don't know what's going to do, what's going to happen. We dump water on them, confetti. I say, give me your wallet. I go through it on the air, and it's scary, but it's very funny and electric. It works.
Tonight, a woman or a man?
Tonight, I picked a young man out of the audience, a guy, I think he's like 22 years old.
Before we take the next call, you hosted the 75th anniversary?
50th. Yeah, the 75th anniversary of NBC is coming up, but I hosted the 50th anniversary of late-night television on NBC, and unfortunately, the original airing was, I think, a few days after September 11th, and I was going to go out and promote it, but for obvious reasons, none of us felt that was appropriate, so we let it run, and it did fine. NBC just reran it last Sunday night, and the rerun it was great. It was a big hit, and it did better than the first run of it, and it was great because it's...
What's the history of Jack Parr, Steve Allen?
Starting at the beginning, from the very first
Jerry
shows.
Lester?
Yeah, Jerry Lester, and we showed the clips, and Jack Parr, Steve Allen, Jack Parr, Johnny Carson, David Letterman, and we showed a lot of classic David Letterman from the 80s, and we showed...
Did you need his permission?
Well, what we did is, I guess technically, probably we didn't, but what I wanted it to be done the right way, so we put together a montage, and when we were producing it, and I sent it over to Dave with a note, and I said, let me know what you think, and he called back and said he really thought we had done a good job, so.
Black Lake, Ohio, for Conan O'Brien. Hello.
Hello, Mr. O'Brien.
Yes,
My question
Conan.
is very simple. What person haven't you interviewed that you would like to interview?
It's funny. It used to be a long list, and it's gotten shorter over the years. It's been about 9 years now that we've been doing it, and I've pretty much gotten to everybody I wanted to talk to. Some of the people on that list are no longer with us. Richard Nixon was someone who I always thought would be an amazing interview. John Lennon. There's certain heroes of mine that I would have loved to have talked to. Probably Woody Allen is a name that comes to mind because he's someone who influenced me a lot. Great prose writer and performer and filmmaker, and he's someone who I've always thought I'd love to talk with Woody Allen, but that's...
As a writer, do you ever think what it must have been like during the Sid Caesar days when Woody Allen was a junior writer and Mel Brooks and Carl Reiner? Laughter on the 23rd Floor, the play about it.
Yeah, it's...
what a riotous...
What a stable of writers, yeah. And that's...
Larry Gelbart.
Yeah. Just sometimes I fantasize that, maybe the people that are writing for me now are going to go on to do things, and they can hire me when I'm hitting the sauce and having my troubles, because it's going to happen.
Toronto, hello.
Conan.
Yes.
Question.
Yes.
Do you see a difference between your Canadian audiences and your American audiences?
Yes.
Is there a difference?
Yeah, there is a palpable difference. First of all, Canadians embraced our show before Americans did, and I have to give them their props for that. When I debuted, there were a lot of things wrong with the show, but I think one of the things that was right with the show is that we were doing a lot of innovative and strange things with the medium of television, and a lot of people were very resistant to it.
You were kind of like a Kovacs, Ernie Kovacs.
No, I wouldn't.
He was way ahead of his time. And
but I'm not going to put myself in his league. But yeah, we're just trying things. We wanted the show to be, let's throw a lot of strange things up against the wall, and see what sticks. And our original writer, Robert Smigel, said, this is our flailing period. Let's just flail around and don't be afraid to try things. So we did that, and some nights the crowd would just be right there from the beginning. They liked it, they got it, and I would always say, great crowd tonight, and they would say, yeah, it was a lot of people from Canada. And they aren't afraid to go with you. I think, look at all the great comedy that comes out of Canada. I think they aren't afraid of new ideas. They aren't afraid of something that's a little different, and they gave me the benefit of the doubt. And so I've always been indebted to, whenever we have people from Toronto or Montreal in the audience, they really don't, mind seeing the stranger stuff.
Of course, a completely different era, but did you feel the loss of Milton Berle?
It's funny. I met Milton Berle once and got to talk to him, and I'm a little bit of a nerd about the old days of broadcasting, so I got to ask him some questions, and he was really, really nice to me. We had one experience with Milton Berle, and this is a true story. my first year on the air, Milton Berle was in the hallway. He was taping something. He saw that our light was on. He said, "What's going on in there?" And they said, "It's Conan O'Brien's show." And he said, "I'm going to do a walk-on." And without asking anybody, without saying anything, he walked right through the doors, walked out. Crowd went crazy. He waves to everybody. Did some shtick with, ran over to me, like shoved a cigar in my mouth, grabbed my ass. I don't know. He did a million things. Crowd goes crazy, waves, walks out. We were in a commercial break. We were in commercial, and Milton just didn't know that. And suddenly, so the audience has already had the surprise, and I was like, "Can he come back tomorrow?" "No, he's gone." So the cameras weren't even going. But I think we all met.
Boy,
there's no
one like him.
no me if he hadn't been here.
That's right. We'll be back with our remaining moments with Conan right after this.
I want to ask you something. This is a question that people wouldn't expect, but when I first got this job, I came here to 30 Rock.
How did you get this job, by the way? Was it a theme writing contest? Or
yes. What? Yes. Yeah. It was a what would I do with a talk show, and I was fourth.
The Mideast Meltdown. Follow Colin Powell at every step of his historic journey. CNN's...
I just really think she's cute.
Who I like is the brunette over there.
Oh, yeah. No, she's cute, too.
He was something.
Yeah. It's getting to the point now where it's hard sometimes to see the old clips, just because there are people who aren't with us anymore.
Columbus, Georgia, for Conan O'Brien. Hello.
Hi, Conan. I was just wondering if your pompadour had become a trademark, and if so, if you would ever consider changing it.
You didn't hear it? No. You want to know if your pompadour has become a trademark.
The pompadour in the early days of the show was much higher. I mean, it was creating structural damage in the studio. And so at a certain point, it calmed down. But I'm angry at the Bob's Big Boy chain. I think they ripped me off. This Jimmy Neutrino cartoon, I think that's clearly Conan O'Brien, and I want to see some cash.
You know what I think happened?
What?
When you stood up to shake hands with Aaron Brown, a very effusive greeting, you pulled your earpiece out.
Oh, is that what happened? I think it pulled out. You see, Aaron Brown...
He did it.
Charged in here and said, "I must meet Conan O'Brien," and security tried to stop him.
That's right.
I stood to be polite and to deflect an attack, and we pulled it out. Thank you, Aaron Brown. What kind of place are you running here?
I'll repeat the question for you. Don't pull it. Lima, Ohio. Hello.
Yeah, Conan, I was wondering, who was your favorite actor to work with on SNL?
Who was your favorite person working with on Saturday Night Live?
Oh, boy, that's really hard. Kind of impossible. There's someone crawling.
You don't have to crawl. We're
So stand up. I want people to see who this... He works hard. People should see you. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. You do a great job.
Nice seeing you.
He just took my wallet. I want you to know that. Gee, at Saturday Night Live, very difficult question to answer, but... Boy, that's difficult.
Who was the
Lovitz or Carvey were just two people that I just love to watch perform, and so.
And were they easy to write for?
Yes.
Did they go with the flow? Some great comics were very difficult with their writers.
Yes, not the case. I mean, especially Dana Carvey he's just a pleasure to work with. Such a huge talent and a very nice man.
Speaking of that, you are a huge talent and a very nice man. And let's not so long between visits.
Okay, I'll be back. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Conan O'Brien, the host of Late Night with Conan O'Brien. I want to remind you about Larry King Weekend Saturday Night. Conan is so envious. We did this show once. Together on this program were Yitzhak Rabin, Yasser Arafat, and King Hussein.
We had them. Yeah, they were great.
The occasion was the 10th anniversary of this show, which is going to be 17 years old in June. And we were that close to peace in the Middle East. And that'll be repeated in its entirety Saturday night. We'll tell you about tomorrow night, what I can tell you about tomorrow night, right after these words.